welcome back to another episode of Women Gone Wild podcast, a space where rebellious, authentic, expressive, free spirited women who don't fit into a box are celebrated and encouraged to keep popping her shit. I'm your host, Zae, and whether this is your first time here or your 10th time here, welcome. I'm glad you fuck with me. I fuck with you too. So, I want to talk about how my childhood flaws actually ended up being my gifts as an adult. Um, I don't know if y'all know this, but I grew up in a half Nigerian household. My dad is from Nigeria. And with him in the home, it was very strict. Um, I wasn't really allowed to express myself. Of course, he wasn't there. He wasn't like emotionally available either, but I mostly wasn't really allowed to express myself, and emphasis was really put on punishment. I feel like I got more punishment than I received emotional support. And so, I used to get punished so badly. I wrote in my book about a time that I got punished when I was 4 years old. I'm not going to talk about it now, but it started so young, just getting beat, and just severely punished for the smallest things. Okay, so I remember when I was a kid and I was in school, I used to get in trouble every single week. You know how in grade school they gave out progress reports, and your mom had to read it and sign it and give it back to let the teacher know that your mom got the progress report. Yeah. I used to get progress reports every Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, and I would get in trouble every time. Every single time the progress report would say, she has trouble listening and following directions. And she also has issues with excessive talking, dissatisfactory, listening, following directions, dissatisfactory. And I was just getting I was constantly getting punished and berated and scolded and reprimanded for talking, expressing myself, and being my own person, not listening and following directions, right? So it's not like I was putting anybody in harm or, hurting any other children or disrupting the class. I would just be, in, interacting with my environment because is this not school? Excuse me. I didn't realize that I was in an institution where the children are being indoctrinated and programmed to be obedient and docile and to fall in line and be the perfect robotic employees to funnel a system that is oppressing its people. Excuse me, I didn't realize that this wasn't school and that I wasn't supposed to talk to my peers and that I was, just supposed to just sit there like this the whole time for 6 hours. And you know what? I used to really fucking wonder how kids, and this is how I know I had a little bit of I'm neurodivergent as fuck, okay? So the other kids would just be sitting there listening to the teacher speak, face forward, attentive, not moving. And I would just be having to fidget or something. I need to do something with my hands. I used to pull out paper and draw. I used to get in trouble for that a lot. Drawing in class. Oh, I used to get in so much trouble for that. That was a part of the not listening and following directions. And yeah, I never understood how kids could just fucking sit there and listen to a teacher speak. Whatever the fuck she's saying is not that interesting, and she's not even really engaging us. So, I'm bored, bro. I'm on to the next thing. And I believe that I'm pretty sure that one of my teachers recommended to my parents that I get some sort of help for my, ADHD symptoms. And my parents were like, no, there's nothing wrong with her. She's fine. Da, 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 da. So, they stuck up for me in that regard. But other than that, I was getting in trouble every single fucking week for them damn progress reports. And like I said, excessive talking, not listening and following directions, whatever. So Yeah, I used to get my ass beat. I mean, it was like a ritual. Like okay, it's progress report day. I'm also going to be getting an ass whooping before dinner. Like, yeah. And like, yes, it is. I would classify it as child abuse because, first of all, I didn't do anything like inherently wrong for it to deserve to be treated this way. I feel like my parents were so, like, I feel like my dad especially was more concerned with having an obedient and presentable child than he was actually being a father and like connecting to his children in that way, as far as them being individuals. Like, we were more like extensions of him rather than our own people. So yeah. Severe, the punishment was extremely severe. Do I want to talk about the punishments specifically? I feel like I should because like this is not right. And I want people to understand that like what you went through as a child was not fucking normal. Okay. So if you're Nigerian specifically, or like really from any West African country, you might have received severe punishments in the 90s, because that's just what they were doing. There was no such thing as fucking gentle parenting and emotional intelligence, and at least not for me. So I wasn't that lucky to receive such a father. But yeah, he used to like make us stand on one leg and hold our arms out for long periods of time. And if we fell or lost our balance, we would get beat. And what else? Honestly, that's honestly the most traumatic one. So there was probably more, but that was definitely the most traumatic one. Yeah, I used to have to stand on one leg and read books out loud. And then if I fell, I got pinched or beat. Yeah. While reading. Like, it was very overstimulating. It was very torturous. And like, yeah, we need to talk about that shit. That shit is crazy. It's not normal. And so, what else did they do? I really don't. Those are the only two that I can really remember. I'm pretty sure there were more where like I had to like hold my arms out, um, and get slapped or like beat across the arms. Uh, Like, I'm pretty sure there was so many other punishments that I kind of just blocked out of my fucking memory because I don't want to hold that shit with me. But yeah, I used to get severely punished every fucking week. I specifically remember that. Specifically between the ages of like 7 and 10. Yeah. And so I know I wasn't a bad child. I just had issues with not listening and following directions, as well as excessive talking. And you know what? Those same attributes are the reason why we are sitting here today and why I have this podcast. Yes, I excessively talk. I talk so much that I record myself doing it and I post it on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts so that other people can also listen to me excessively talk. Yes, I excessively talk because I have a lot of thoughts and feelings that I am aware of how to articulately express, and I'm going to get it out no matter what, whether it's writing, speaking, art, it doesn't matter. I'm going to express myself, period. Okay, not listening and following directions. No, I'm not docile. No, I'm not obedient. I'm very disobedient as it pertains to authority. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I'm not saying that I'm a criminal. Right. I mean, I've gotten away with a lot of crimes. If you put it on paper. I draw the line at littering. I will not litter, and I won't cause physical harm to other people for no reason. But like, I'm not really big on authority. Like, who the fuck are you, bitch? Like, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. And so I have been working on like just, being charming and eloquent and cooperative in situations where it's important, because I mean, like, it's okay to be assertive and 10 toes in who you are and authentic and bold and audacious, but also it needs to be like a productive thing. It needs to be an efficient thing. You can't just be, I mean, you can if you want to, but I personally am not trying to just be walking around being a rebel without a cause. But it is what it is. I don't really have a whole bunch of respect for authority. I'm not really good with the police. I try to avoid the police as much as possible. I haven't had any run-ins with the police as of the past few years, and I like to keep it that way because I'm not good with the police. It's just, yeah, there's better ways to stand up to authority than just, crashing out and just being completely like ruthless and obscene and insubordinate. You can be cooperative and elegant and charming and charismatic as well and still get the same and get better results. So diplomacy is a good thing. It's an aspect of my inner masculine that um I definitely like to polish a little bit more, just being more diplomatic. I feel like if you know how to talk your way out of a situation, I think that is way more commendable than cussing somebody out. And I know I talked about crashing out, and I still stand on that. I still mean everything I said when I said we should crash out sometimes. Quote unquote, crash out, right? But there's also an efficient way of using your dark feminine energy. There is a productive way you can be productive with it, right? If you're just cussing people out left and right, breaking bonds, causing tension where it's not really necessary, talking yourself out of opportunities, endangering yourself, putting yourself in compromising situations that really could have been avoided if you just shut the fuck up. Like that's like, yeah, your darkness is not working for you. It's working against you. And there are ways to employ that same darkness and make it work for you. And so that's more so where I'm at in my life. But yes, as a kid, I was not listening or following directions. And so, yeah, that's just what it is. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to like submit to a man. That shit sounds crazy as hell. No, thank you. I'm not going to struggle for love. I'm not going to overwork myself in order to keep a family together. Um, None of that shit is, yeah, no, I'm not going to listen and follow directions. In fact, I question everything. And I'm proud to say that I question everything. I really am, because uh, everything I've been sold since girlhood has been a lie. I mean, literally everything. One lie that I've been really reflecting on over the past few weeks or really months, is the fact that men are not leaders. Who said men were leaders? Why at one point did I want a man to lead me? I had to think about that. I think that when you are a woman and you're aware of your power, but you're also exhausted from you're exhausted because you also give that shit away to men and various other things in your life that really aren't serving you or pouring back into you. It makes you tired. It makes you want to just give your power away. Just take it. I love being with a man who's smart, because that means I get to just turn my brain off. Why would you turn your brain off? You need your brain. Turn it back on, girl, because that ain't where you want to be. I just want a man to lead me. No, lead you where? These men will lead you straight to hell if you let them. Like, no, it's okay to be tired. It's okay to be exhausted, but just like, that's why we need to reserve our energy and only give it to people who deserve it, and only give it to those who have earned it from you. Because I think that the way that women are so giving, we are so giving, and I'm not going to say rarely do we receive it back in return, but most women do not receive the magnitude of how much they give back in return. That's a lie. Men are not leaders. We are the leaders. We are the ones who have intuitive knowledge and broad foresight. We're the ones who are able to see the bigger picture and even zone into the details as well to attribute to the bigger picture. Like, we are the leaders, okay? Women run households. It doesn't matter if the man is paying all the bills. He should be paying all the bills. The woman, if she's organizing things and making sure that stuff is where it's supposed to go and da 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 da, she's leading the household. And so, yeah, just like expecting men to be leaders was a lie that I was sold growing up. And I refuse to continue to fall for that shit because I get disappointed every time. Like when men like try, when I look to men to lead me, you know what I met with? I met with fucking just incompetence. It's like it be the smartest niggas. They be smart, they be kind, they be gentle, whatever. But they also be incompetent in a way that I just, it's like, are you doing this on purpose? No, you can't help it. Okay. You're not a leader. It's just what it is. Like there's always, and I know that men are not perfect, but there's always a sign that lets you know that why would you expect this man to lead you anywhere? Unless he's like, you've seen his like, what he's built for himself and how he goes about interacting with people, his reputation and, you know, his knowledge, his skills. And maybe he has something to teach you. Maybe he can help you get to where you want to go. Maybe he can, you know, add to your life. But at the end of the day, you are the leader of your own life. So, and you're going to be the one to have to bring up, you're going to have to be the one to bring up a lot of the conversations that need to be had as far as like y'all's intimacy and just issues and little nuances within y'all relationship. You're going to be the one to have to fucking like bring up the issues and initiate those hard conversations. It's you. It's going to be you. Because the nigga will just coast along like ain't nothing wrong as long as he's getting what he needs from you. And that's why that brings me to another lie that we have been told is that marriage is something to aspire to. Marriage means that you have accomplished everything that a woman could possibly accomplish and that you have made it. You have reached the epitome of success. You have won the golden ticket. You are at the finish line, girl. You made it. No. And I say no because the only reason why marriage is projected onto women as some big ass fucking accomplishment is because men benefit from being married more than women benefit from being married. And in order to create a supply of wives for men's demand, you must project to women that the greatest thing that they could ever be is a wife. And suddenly, when all women just want to be wives and will do anything to be a wife, anything to stay a wife, men get wives. Even though women will always have to do more of the heavy lifting in a marriage, I don't care. It's always the woman. I don't care. It doesn't matter how much men help out. It doesn't matter if he pays all the bills. He should. But the woman is always doing more. Even if they don't have kids, the woman is always doing more. Because men don't keep women around who aren't doing the most. They just don't. They don't make women who are doing the most. They don't make the women who are not doing the most their number one. They'll have other women doing other shit for them. So usually monogamy with men comes with a woman willing to do the most to keep him. Oh my God. I'm getting heated because I just thought about this clip that I saw on Instagram. They posted a clip from their podcast about and the caption said, if you want him to remain faithful, followed by a series of explanations as to why men are naturally cheaters. They're biologically wired and genetically designed to seek out new sexual experiences in order to uh, in order to rejuvenate their sexual libido and to have a zest, maintain their zest for life, and da 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 da. And I was just like, okay, I can agree with that. Men are genetically designed to be cheaters. Okay, let's. What else? What else are we talking about here? Women, in return, as a response to that, instead of accepting the fact that men are not genetically designed to be husbands in the way that we've been told men are supposed to be husbands, because I'm gonna wrap this up here. I'm gonna wrap all of this together. All of this is very much related. So we can't accept the fact that men are not genetically wired to be husbands. Instead, the call to action for women was to spice it up. Wear wigs, change your outfit, change up your look, role play, give yourself a new name. Make sure that you spice it up in your husband's life so that he'll want to stay faithful to you. And if he cheats, it's your fault for not spicing it up. I mean, that's not what they said verbatim. I'm not putting words in nobody's mouth, but that is essentially what I gathered from the whole thing. Like that we have been told that marriage is a commitment between two people who are going to work equally as hard to love each other, to cherish each other, to devote themselves to each other, and to stay with each other through thick and thin, through sickness and death, da 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 da. However, men, when you look up their genetic makeup and their biological makeup and their sexual urges, are not designed to fit into that mold of what marriage is supposed to be. So somebody is lying. Somebody is lying. Either marriage is not natural, period, or men can control their sexual urges and they're just using that as an excuse to be able to go cheat. Somebody is lying. Let's quickly, let's figure it out. Who's lying? Because honestly, marriage seems to be sticking out as the lie. First point, men are not designed for marriage. Second point, if marriage is supposed to be this equal thing between two people, why is the woman having to do backflips and somersaults and tap dance in order to keep her husband? Why is she having to endure pregnancy, endure birth, risking her life at that? I mean, she's risking pregnancy is risky. You could die. I don't know if y'all know that, but you could die from having a man's child. So you're risking your body, your life. You are most likely, or maybe not, God forbid, you go through postpartum depression. You're adjusting to this new life of motherhood while feeling like a little bit disconnected from yourself because you haven't had any time for yourself at all in the nurturing of this child. You are cleaning up after everybody. Your man's telling you that you're fat and that you're letting yourself go, and that if you need to spice it up so that he can remain faithful to you. On top of that, y'all are splitting bills. On top of that, you're cleaning and cooking almost every night. On top of that, you're expected to fuck him and suck him whenever he wants. Now, the new requirement is to go to the Halloween store or Party City and get a costume and a wig so that you can spice it up and keep it fresh for your man so that he will remain faithful to you. Girl, that's a lot of work. As a wife, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. No thanks. No thanks. Marriage is a scam. Marriage is a scam. And they sold us this scam because they knew that if women knew what they were getting themselves into, they would want no parts. And men would have to find other ways to build upon their legacy, or they would have to come correct. They would have to come more correct in order to really earn a wife. Having a wife is a privilege, and a lot of husbands do not deserve this privilege, because I have heard so many stories about sex workers interacting with married men, because those are that's their main customer. Their customer base is made up mainly of men who are married clientele. And these clients are complaining about their wives being fat and not being as hot as her, and getting on their nerves. And you know what? They stay in these marriages because they're getting benefits. They could easily leave if they're so unhappy with their wives, but no, they stay. They use the wife for what she's used for, because he's benefiting from that. And he gets to go spend money on sex workers and strippers and sugar babies and prostitutes. This is not to shame the sex workers. Y'all are the smartest out of this whole scenario. I feel like sex workers are on their fucking shit. They're on their shit. They know the game. They know how men's minds work. They know how to make their interactions with men benefit them financially. You're winning, okay? Because a lot of us, the only thing that we're getting out of niggas is disappointment, stress, drainage of our energy and our essence. So at least you got a bill paid, your rent paid, you took a trip, you got a bag. At least you got something out of it, instead of a stain of regret on your heart. It's not always that serious, but like, for real, like, I feel like marriage is just it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay then. I'm not saying marriage can't be beautiful. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that all men cheat. But for this to be like a conversation that's just, oh, I'm just going to put this on our podcast and we're just going to engage the collective, and, just encourage the women to do more to keep their men, do more, add more onto the backs of Black women, because Black women are the most disrespected people. What they say? I don't know what the quote is. Black women are the most disrespected people. Da, 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 da. They will, people will toot that all day long. Protect Black women. Protect Black women. Black women are goddesses. We should worship the Black woman. But then you want her to perform for you in order for you to stay faithful to her, because it's in your genetic makeup. Your genetic makeup is suddenly a liability to her, and suddenly something that she has to fight against. You are an up. You're an up. Genetically. Why should a woman have to fight against your nature? If that's the case, keep it 100. Keep it 100. Let every woman that you know and every woman that you want to be close to, let her know that you're not genetically wired to only seek just her, and that you're going to be attracted to other women. And 9 times out of 10, she will leave you. That's exactly right. But at least she made an informed decision. At least she's not in this fucking delusional ass fucking fairy tale where she thinks that she has a man all to herself because of the way that she performs, and not because this man actually wants just her. That's all I have to say about that. But shout out to not listening and following directions. Shout out to excessive talking. Yes. Needs improvements. Dissatisfactory. So yeah, I think that marriage can be very beautiful. I think that when there is mutual respect, companionship, and the woman is made to be taken care of so that she can pour, the woman is well taken care of and poured into tremendously so that what she gives isn't from a place of deficit. Women should be taken care of in marriage so that they are pouring from a cup that is overfilled. Not so they are being fucking sucked dry like a chicken bone for all that they could possibly offer a man just to say that they're married. So yes, I'm not shitting on married couples, not shitting on people who want to be married. All kudos to you. I pray that you find a partner who is worth legally and spiritually binding yourself to. And yeah, that's that. Like, I'm definitely not against marriage. However, I do want women to get comfortable with the fact that unless you settle, you may not ever be married. And I'm not trying to project anything negative onto your life. I'm just saying we need to be okay with ourselves intrinsically and wholly. Like, we need to be okay with our life outside of a romantic partner or a man. I think decentering men and decentering romance in general puts you in a very beautiful place where you can build up your own personal reserve, your own zest for life. You fulfill it. You are the life of every party. And this is metaphorically speaking. You are the life of the party. Meaning that nobody is responsible for the beautiful experiences that you have in your life except for you. So when someone leaves you, they're not taking away your good times. You are the good time. You understand that? Like, if you used to, turn up and have fun with a group of friends, you know why that shit was so lit? Because you were there. And if you're no longer friends with those people, and you're no longer linking up with those people or doing anything, traveling, partying, you're no longer in that space. It's not those people that you miss. It's who you were when you were with those people. So therefore, you need to do something for yourself that brings out those same aspects. And I probably have talked about this before, but I'm going to keep saying it because it's so important to remember that it's always you. It's always you. You are the only person who can give yourself what you are seeking. And you know what? Romantic relationships are just here to add to that. You build your castle. You build your temple. And whoever enters your temple must come with an offering, must be able to help renovate or add extra rooms to your temple. And so when it comes to this soft life thing, I feel as though we should aim to give ourselves a soft life. We should really embrace our peace and our solitude and the life that we have outside of romance, sex, men, relationships, partnerships, all of that. Like, we have so much room to pour into our friends and our sisters and our family members that we still talk to and our pets, our hobbies, our passions, our personal improvement goals, or we can just like chill. You don't have to always be constantly improving. You can just chill and just be. And no one's around to tell you who you should be or need to be in order to have them. Like, it's all you. So the soft life is really, in my opinion, it's reserving my energy. It's a big part of it. And just not allowing myself to be drained, because that's the reason why a lot of women don't feel soft. It's not because we have to work. A lot of us love to work. A lot of us love to work. We love to express ourselves. We love to make money. We love to sustain ourselves with our passions. We love to work. It's not that. We should not have to work excessively while in communion with a man. What are you here for? When you become comfortable with yourself, you start to really ask, like, really look at, like, why people are in your life. Like, when you start to really, like, give validation to yourself rather than seeking it from external places, and you start raising your own standards instead of letting someone tell you what your standards should be. You start requiring things instead of just accepting whatever someone hands you, or whatever they don't want to hand you or can't hand you, whatever. When you start setting boundaries, and like all of that just ties into it, it all ties. You start really like, bitch, I'm the shit. My worth is up here. So I'm okay with being alone if y'all can't meet me up here. Like, I think being open to love is very important. I'm not saying close yourself off to love and just accept that you'll be lonely forever. No, it's normal and very human to want partnership and companionship, but to be desperately searching for it and compromising yourself and molding yourself into something, somebody's ideal version of a partner, that is not healthy. So, yes, being open to love, but not chasing after love is a really healthy place, to be. And that is what's going to make you feel soft. Reserving your energy, making sure that not everybody has access to you. It's going to soften you up. Because it's like, I'm a goddess and I'm on my throne and I'm up here. What you doing? You coming up here? Oh, you going to stay down there? Okay, bye. And when life gets tough, guess what? You have the community that you were able to pour into because you weren't focused on a man or a relationship, and your community is there for you to support you. Your friends, your family. You're not alone. Just because you're decentering romance and men or in relationships and sex does not mean that you're alone. It just means that you have poured your energy into places that need watering. You know what I'm saying? That could use the watering. You're gonna get fruit from that. But letting niggas drain you and take you through the ringer for years, no, you don't. That's not productive to me. And I'm not judging. I know it takes a lot of experience and um a lot of like uh straws have to be pulled out of your jar in order for it to like you finally be the last straw. Like, okay, I'm done. So I'm not judging anybody who's in a miserable marriage or relationship. But I'm just saying it's okay to be alone, girl. It's okay to be alone. Alone but not lonely. You ain't never lonely, girl. Especially if you black. If you black, you ain't never alone because it's always gonna be some white people in your business. So that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you for listening to my podcast. I would like to say that I'll be dropping episodes every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, but that's a lie because I'm not on a schedule. Honestly, look out for my episodes. I'm going to drop at least twice a month. So there's that. And yeah, my marketing is intuitive. I know that I need to be more consistent, but sometimes I have to honor my energy levels and the other obligations that I have going on in life. So, I work intuitively and the message comes when it needs to come, and the message is messaging. So don't judge me for not staying on a strict schedule. It'll get better. I promise. I'm just starting out. Thank you for being so patient with me and for listening. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, please go subscribe to my YouTube, like this video, drop a comment if you feel compelled to do so. I really appreciate the engagement because it does help grow my channel. And also if you're listening on my streaming platforms, big shout outs to you because I really need those numbers to grow. Please share the links. Go to my Instagram at zajavuu, is ZAJAVUU. Follow me. I'll be posting clips from this podcast just to help market and get myself out there. So please repost those clips, tap in with me. Also, I have a Patreon. Where I post bonus episodes of the Women Gone Wild podcast. I talk about stuff that I really just have to keep for those who are really invested in me as a person. I don't want just anybody stumbling upon this tea. So yeah, if you want, more bonus episodes where I get more detailed and personal about, my own experiences, then head over to Patreon. I believe the monthly subscription fee is like cheaper than a latte at Starbucks. Like it's like $7. So yeah, I appreciate the support. And also, I'm an artist. I don't know if you see all this art on my wall, but I'm an artist and I make very beautiful art. And you need it on your wall because you are about to get that apartment, sis, and you need to decorate your apartment so that you can feel at home and cozy and excited about being in a place that you pay over $1,500 a month for. So head over to my Etsy and order you a piece, girl. You want that. You want that. I also do customized pieces as well. So you can submit an inquiry. I'll also leave that link below as well. So thank you guys for listening. I'm done rambling and I'll see you guys next time.